We are going to be speaking to Joylyn for the next 20, 30 minutes about the IELTS, about her challenges, her successes, and her best advice for everybody who's watching. As everybody knows, we do the IELTS Hero interviews because the IELTS is a big ordeal, right, Joylyn?
Yes, exactly.
It's a big ordeal, and we want to make sure that we inspire everybody and give them advice. So Joylyn, tell us a little bit about yourself. Before we talk about the IELTS, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Joylene. I'm actually from the Philippines, but currently I'm working here in Qatar. It's in the Middle East, and I've been here for almost 3 years. Well, my 3 year journey here is really nice, except for the times wherein it's summer and in the Middle East it's really hot during summer. But overall, it's fine.
Okay. What was the biggest challenge when you went to go, when you left the Philippines and you went to live outside the Philippines? What was the biggest difference that you found?
Well, it's really the culture because back in the Philippines, we're actually free. We can do whatever we want. However, here in the Middle East, there are some things that we can do here that we do in the Philippines, but there are some restrictions because, as we all know, this is a Muslim country, and of course, living with them, we also have to respect their culture. So I think culture is the very first thing that we should the very first thing that I considered when I started living here in Qatar.
Okay. And Joylyn, tell us about your American dream. Who or what inspired you to come to America?
Well, honestly, before when I was younger, I really didn't have this American dream or any plans of living and staying for good in the US. However, during my nursing career here in Qatar, it happened 2 years ago. Well, something happened that made or became a turning point for me to start a new venture. Like from that moment on, I decided that it's really not good to stick with one plan. It's better if you have any other plans, and it's better for you to go to a place where you can maximize and live your life to the fullest in terms of job, of family life, and leisure activities. And well, there are leisure activities that we enjoy here in the Middle East, but it's entirely different if you go to US. So from that moment, I decided to have an American dream, and I'm really doing my best to achieve that one.
Okay, so it sounds like there was a turning point. Something changed.
Yes.
So when you arrive in the US, what do you anticipate will be the biggest changes? What do you think it's going to be like? Have you ever been to America before?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Hopefully, in the near future.
What do you think is going to be the biggest difference?
Well, in terms of culture and in terms of the leisure and the different places that I can visit, as well as if you go to the US, I think you will be free, unlike here that you have some restrictions or you have to follow some policies, and you really can't live your life to the fullest. And of course, the weather here it's really very hot, and like if I go to US, I can enjoy the different seasons. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so lots to look forward to.
Yeah.
Joylyn, tell us about the IELTS. Tell us about your journey with the IELTS.
Yeah, well, my IELTS journey, it was a bit challenging because it was actually my first time to take the exam. And beforehand, I really didn't have any idea of what the real IELTS exam will be. So I found it challenging, and I just studied for it. Like, I practiced, and then I enrolled with Swoosh English. From that time when I enrolled with that review program, I started reviewing. I actually had 2 months of reviewing for the exam, so I had a little difficulty with adjusting my time because I'm also working in shifts. So what I did is I set up like three. Well, my initial goal was actually to have 3 hours per day of studying for the IELTS. However, because there are times that I also get tired from work, so I changed my goal, and I think that's really important for you to change your goal and to make it into something that is achievable. So what I did is, from expecting myself to complete 3 hours per day, I changed it to like 9 to 12 hours per week. So maybe in a week, I studied for like 3 to 4 days in a week, and it it's satisfying if you actually it's satisfying if you actually meet your goal. I think the best thing for you to prepare the IELTS exam is to set an achievable goal, so that you will also not exhaust yourself and you can still do the other things that you need to do.
So that's really interesting. So you set a goal, but you realized with work and everything else going on, it was just too difficult for you. It was too
Yes.
ambitious. And that, what did you say, 9 to 12 hours a week
Yeah.
was going to work for you? Okay. So some days you might do a little bit more, some days you might do a little bit less, but you knew that
Yes.
it was a weekly goal rather than a daily goal.
Yes, because also I had a limited time, and well, my target actually was every day was to finish at least one IELTS exam, like do one reading, one speaking, one listening, and one writing. But I found it impossible for me to do it every day, so that's why I changed my goal.
Okay. And I'm just thinking, there's an acronym, the SMART goals. I don't know if you've heard of that
Yeah.
before or if anybody is watching. So the S is for specific, the M is for measurable, the A is for achievable. So that's the big one, because you've got to set a goal that's a stretch, but it's achievable. And then, as
Yeah.
you said, it's satisfying, because at the end of the week, you can say, okay, I said 9 to 12 hours and I did it. And you can check that off. So that's very achievable. And then the R is realistic and timed. So a SMART goal, we're going to put that in the chat, but a SMART goal is actually a really good idea to keep in mind when you're setting your goals.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you did that for, I think you said 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What and then and then what other tips or pointers can you share with anybody watching, Joylyn?
Well, generally for preparing for the IELTS exam, I think reviewing, like having a comprehensive review, is really a must, because you will learn techniques. Well, with the review, we cannot say, IELTS is really broad, so we cannot say that what we reviewed for will actually go out in the actual exam. So I think what we are learning from the reviews are the techniques in meeting the different parts of the exam. And for those people who subscribed with Swoosh English review program, I think that's a nice what you call this one, nice reference for you if you're going to take the IELTS. Because for me, I really didn't have any idea about the exam. So when I started reviewing that one, it was really detailed and comprehensive. So I had an opinion of what it looks like, and how I'm going to meet the different parts of the exam. And um, well, that review program, I mean, the modules were really hard were really hard for me initially, but then the succeeding activities made me realize that if you just stay motivated and just finish those activities, even if at the first time you had a very low band score, but as you go by, you notice that you're improving, so it means that you're learning the techniques from that from those modules. And with the exam, specifically for writing, the tip that I could say is, just do task two first before doing task one, because as we all know, it has a bigger percentage of score for the writing exam. And based on my experience with the I got confused really with task one. So I think it was a good decision for me to go first with task two than task one. For reading, the tip that I can say is to really highlight the important information that you are seeing in every paragraph, so that it will not be hard for you to look for the answers for the questions for the reading part. Um, and really, I learned a lot from that review program, that you need to do scanning and skimming with the reading exam, because you have a limited time for that part. So really, scanning and skimming and highlighting items are really important. For the listening, I think it's focus which is important during the listening exam. Don't allow any distractions, or don't think of anything that would really distract you, because if you get distracted, you will lose your concentration, and you will not be able to follow with what the what do you call this one, the speaker is saying in the exam. So really, it's focus. And for speaking, we for us nurses who are bound to US, we're really targeting to get a 7 in the exam. So we need to practice. Really, practice is very important with the speaking exam. Um, First one is, well, for me personally, what I did was, I joined the Zoom study groups in the Connetics English. Yeah, I joined that one, and I'm getting constructive criticisms from the people that I have encountered with, and I use those criticisms for me to improve myself, because actually, with I think I joined maybe 5 or 6 sessions with that one, and I realized that it's the same comment that all the people are saying about my speaking. So I used that one, and it really helped me in improving myself. Another thing is, if you have friends who pass the IELTS, or friends who are planning to take an IELTS, having a study partner is really nice, because they will hear you, and they will really give you honest opinions of which parts you got mistake, or which parts you need to improve. Another thing is recording yourself. Make a video, and then after answering a after answering the speaking exam, and replay the video, and you will really know which part you committed a mistake, like for the grammar or for the tenses, and by that you can improve yourself. And for the exam itself, I think really confidence is the key. Because for me, well, even now I feel nervous, and yeah, I really feel nervous, especially if I know that someone is listening to me. The same thing happened with me during the IELTS exam. I think the speaker noticed that I was really nervous and my hands were shaking. So I diverted my anxiety by making some gestures, like I was moving my hands, so that he would not notice that I was really nervous during the exam. And another thing is if the examiner asks you something and you don't have any opinion about it, it's really important to buy time, like using words like I never thought about that, something like that, because it will give you more time to think of an answer for that question. So I think really confidence is the key during the exam, and just divert your anxiety to something else, so that you will finish the exam, and you'll finish the exam. And really, the speaking exam is, we're preparing a lot for the speaking exam, but it's really just fast, as in a snap, and the examiner will just tell you, okay, your speaking exam is done, thank you, like that. You prepared a lot, but then just in a snap, it's already finished. So you just have confidence.
Wow. That was really impressive, Joylyn. That was really good. Well done. You covered so many pointers and so many tips. And let me say so confidently, even though you feel nervous, I know that everybody watching is rooting for you and you're coming across so well and so confident. So thank you for those very specific pointers and tips. I think you've said so many things that are going to resonate with so many people that are watching, and you're going to be helping so many people. So thank you for sharing all of those. And you were very specific, which I love. Very, very specific. So I
Thank
just
you,
I
Tanya.
want to highlight one or two things. So you said you talked about skimming and scanning. Can you share with anybody who's maybe just starting out the IELTS journey what that means?
Yeah, for this skiing and scanning, like you're just going to look at for some important pointers or significant ideas in a certain paragraph because with the reading exam, you really don't have the time or the leisure to read all the entire paragraph. So you just have to look for important points, and then when you meet the question, you remember that you scanned for that specific answer, and there you go. When you meet the question, you'll have the answer direct.
Okay, thank you for that. So I think that's important. And as you said, often people think that you can just kind of like do self-study and get by, but it's technique. It's something that
Yes.
you have to learn. It's not something that you can just know from before. So I
Yes.
think that that's a really important point that you made. You shared also that in having in going into the study groups and having a study partner, they kept coming up with the same things, the same
Yes.
mistakes. Can you share
Yeah.
with everybody what those mistakes were?
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing it again today. I keep on repeating some ideas and opinions. Like I already mentioned that one before, and then if I run out of words, if I run out of words, then just to confabulate, I will mention it again on the later part. So I keep on hearing that opinion. So I try to improve myself on that.
Okay. And that's the helpful thing, because when you're just saying it to yourself, you don't really, you can be biased. You don't really hear anybody else's opinion, and that can be so valuable. Um,
Yes.
I'm just looking now, Joylyn. Ruel says, oh, I thought it was about you. This is a higher expectation with this interviews. IELTS is just a stepping stone. Thank you for the motivation. Thank you for sharing, hero nurse. So
Thank
Joylyn,
you.
you are a hero to Ruel. I think there are so many people here that are congratulating you and are so grateful for your comments and your inspiration. Are there any final words that you want to share with anybody watching?
Yeah, so maybe just prepare if you really want to pass the exam. Then really, you need to prepare for the exam and don't forget to pray because after
Absolutely.
the exam, really, I was not confident, especially this. Yeah, I was speaking about confidence, but for me, I was not really confident, and because maybe of the anxiety that I have, so I thought I will not get the score that is expected for me to be able to go to the US. But when I got the results, well, it was I was even shocked with the result, but I think God made a way. God made a way for me to get that score.
Yeah. God made a way for you, but you made a way for you too, Joylyn.
Yes, yes. As
And,
they say, do your best, and God will do the rest.
yeah. And I know it can feel very overwhelming. And as you said, you were shocked that you did so
Yes,
well. But you know what? I think life can be really hard. And especially now with the pandemic, there's a lot of very difficult things that everybody is experiencing. So when we have a success, you need to give yourself that credit. You need to give
thank you,
yourself that
Tanya.
credit, and you need to give yourself that congratulations. And that's why we do the IELTS Heroes, because we want you to have this moment to shine. You've worked hard, you've put in the effort, and you did it.
Thank you, Tanya.
You did it. And that's what we want for everybody. The Connetics Swish IELTS support group is our safe place. This is our safe place to practice with no judgment, to help each other, to support each other. So we really are so happy for you, Joylyn. We are so
Thank you.
proud of you. And thank you for sharing with everybody. We hope that everybody will be doing an IELTS Hero interview soon.
Yes.
And we wish you continued success. And
Thank you.
we look forward to seeing you in America soon.
Yes.
Thank you, Joylyn.
Thank you. Stay
Thank you.
safe,
Stay safe,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.